Brock Lesnar returned to Monday Night Raw. What exactly happened? Were the Wyatts involved? And what tag team now owns a Grammy? We're going to talk more about that on this week's Monday Night Raw review right here on WGS-TV. Hey, YouTube, are you ready for your hot tag? Because if you are, it's definitely time to warp.
With Man Jackson, watching WGS-TV.
Greetings, YouTube. You have worked your way back into another episode of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer. I am the WrestleGamer, Double B Bully Bujo, and we're going to be doing on this video, guys and gals, is taking a look back at Monday Night Raw, talking about the matches, talking about the segments and what exactly happened, give our thoughts on it, and as always, you guys out there can put in your thoughts in the comment section below, and we definitely want to hear what you guys have to say about Monday Night Raw. But before we get started, let me introduce my co-reviewer on this week's Monday Night Raw review. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him as our resident music mogul over on YouTube.com/LanceMossTV, which is, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, just reached the 200 subscriber milestone. Congratulations to you on that, the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, and apparently anybody can get a Grammy.
Yep, and with that being said, guys and gals, let's go ahead and get this review started. Now, if you look at the opening segment of Monday Night Raw this week, the whole confrontation with Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose, one would think if they're really going to start a storyline with the Wyatt family, then WWE, Lance, personally, in my opinion, I believe would have to be doing a swerve with Lesnar and the Wyatt family, because based on what I've seen, as Lance, can you try to bring Rick in, please, while I'm talking about this? The reason why I say they're probably trying to hold back off on the Wyatt family is to make it a swerve for Fastlane, and that's pretty much the only thing that I could see with it. Because the way I see it, if they're really going to go with the angle of the Wyatt family, Lance, like they've been putting out in the rumors, then they would have to have the Wyatt family involved in the match at Fastlane.
Oh, I have no doubt that the Wyatt family are going to cost Brock Lesnar his chance for the title.
What's going on, guys?
Yep, and ladies and gentlemen, he is a host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, Rick Head. Rick, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Now, I walked in, you guys were talking about Fastlane and Brock Lesnar and the Wyatts. So, why don't you fill me on what you guys are talking about?
Raw.
Oh, okay. Well, that's easy enough. I think what's going on with Brock Lesnar, obviously, it's some form, shape or form, he's going to get screwed over by the Wyatts. And I would like to see, what I'm guessing it's going to be either Brie or Braun Strowman at WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, it seems to be the way that they're directing it towards that. Because right now, from the way it looks, from what we've seen on Monday Night Raw, it looks like Big Show versus Wyatt family. But come Fastlane, I'm going to say about 85% sure they're going to go in the direction of Brock Lesnar. Opening match was Rusev and Kalisto. Now, when I look at Kalisto nowadays, Rick, there's just no denying it that they're making him to be Rey Mysterio version 2.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, even Joseph Nutt over on HW has been saying that for weeks. And it's one of those things that, unfortunately he is Mark. Well, I won't say unfortunate, but he has to follow, and Kalisto has to follow in somebody else's footsteps, because Rey Mysterio was a very marketable person, and there would be smart business, not necessarily storyline, to make him that so he can get that merch him out.
Yeah, basically what they had, guys and gals, is that they had Alberto Del Rio on commentary, and they also did make the announcement that at Fastlane it will be a rematch for the United States Championship, Kalisto versus Alberto Del Rio, and there's only so long that they can do this between Kalisto and Del Rio. I'm not really sure how long. In all honesty, I thought they would have concluded the storyline between those two at the Royal Rumble, but apparently they're going to extend it towards Fastlane. Now, the way this matchup would go, Rusev would end up getting counted out, and once again, Kalisto being the littlest underdog, gee, that really sounds familiar, doesn't it? Would end up winning the matchup by countout. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to announce that, according to Lillian Garcia, the Usos are now Grammy Award winning. How about that, Lance?
Well, I didn't even know they had an album out, and this just in, they have been stripped of their Grammys for lip syncing.
But we can forgive Lillian Garcia. You know, it's not very often that she does a botch, but apparently
Really?
a lot of people. Not one of significance. And calling the Usos should have been Slammy award winning instead Grammy award winning. I don't know why people tend to focus on that one little mistake, Rick, but apparently that's what a lot of fans last night were.
It wasn't just fans. If anybody was listening, JBL was ribbing the shit out of her. He had said it several times. Oh yeah, they deserve those Grammys. You know, so obviously he.
And not only that, they did an instant replay of it when they came back from commercial break, just to hear it one more time what Lillian Garcia said.
So you gotta wonder then. It makes you wonder: was that really botched, or was that planned out? Because if it was a true botch, WWE would have said to move on.
Yep.
You know, I don't know when the Grammys are. I don't know if it's significantly recent or if maybe even one of the superstars are heading over. So it's possible. Guaranteed? Not sure.
Now we had the Usos taking on Curtis Axel and Adam Rose. And Rick, earlier today you were making some sort of analogy between Curtis Axel and Adam Rose.
Oh, well, what happens when you cross Curtis Axel with Adam Rose? You get Axel Rose.
Wow, And with them making the Grammy references, I'm surprised that nobody on commentary last night actually brought that up. It turned out to be the Usos hitting the Samoan splash on Adam Rose to pick up the win. And now on to the MizTV segment with AJ Styles. Gee, Rick, AJ Styles kicking Miz's ass. Nobody really saw that coming, did they?
I think it was a little predictable considering he kept on yanking the mic away from him every 5 seconds, so I was expecting to either grab the mic out of his hand or beat the shit out of him, and obviously the latter happened. My guess is, again, they're setting this match up for Fastlane. I wouldn't be surprised if Jericho, I know we're kind of looking a little bit ahead in the future, if Jericho has another match or even continues to feud on to WrestleMania. Never know.
Well, they did make the announcement that on SmackDown that Miz and AJ Styles will be having a match, so that's going to be something to look forward to. Now, Charlotte and Brie Bella. Now, normally when you think of Brie Bella, ever since Nikki Bella's been out, Brie Bella's just been jobbing left and right, and what happened on Monday Night Raw, Lance, this was pretty much, if I'm not mistaken, the first time that she's gone over in a match, I want to say in about 2 or 3 months.
Something like that. I've been seeing reports on that calling it a, quote, pity win. I don't know how much of that's true because this is all internet speculation, so you never know.
Rick, do you think that this would lead to a Divas title match at Fastlane between these two?
It's already official. It's official, and that's why I have to agree with Lance and I have to agree with the internet. I think this is a pity win because they know that Nikki Bella is now out indefinitely, or probably up to at least 6 to 9 months with a neck injury, so they have to put over another diva, and why not put over a sister?
Now we had Erick Rowan and The Big Show. I really don't know what to say about this, but why? And not only that, with Bray Wyatt, now Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas was not in there, but of course, as due to reports of their grandfather, I believe his Blackjack Mulligan is in the hospital, which one would believe that that's probably the reason why Bo and Bray were not there. But they had the entire Wyatt family basically just beat down The Big Show. Rick, I want to ask you this. Was this WWE's way of either continuing the feud between Big Show and the Wyatt family or writing Big Show off TV?
I can think it's a little bit of both. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Braun Strowman and Big Show at Fastlane, and considering Big Show there's been rumors or reports, whichever one you want to call it, where I guess Big Show's going down to part-time status, so it's very possible.
Up next, we had Titus O'Neil and Tyler Breeze. Man, Tyler Breeze, he was great in NXT. I mean, he was used properly. He was a good heel. And ever since they brought him up to the main roster, Lance, it's just been a big flop for the poor guy.
Yeah, I mean, some gimmicks get over or are allowed to get over on the main roster, and some are just not. And I think this one, I'm not sure. This one, I don't know what happened.
Well, Rick,
I don't know if
you
pissed
are
somebody off or what.
Rick, you are a little bit more familiar with Tyler Breeze, just like we are, because we both followed NXT. You got to agree, he was really used well in NXT until they brought him up to the main roster.
Well, I'm gonna disagree with you on two counts. First off, I've never been a fan of Tyler Breeze, and I think the gimmick always made him look like a watered-down HBK or even a watered-down Rick the Model Martel. Was he a good wrestler? Yes, but the gimmick for me just didn't fit. I saw him recently on Breaking Ground, where he was just completely out of character, and I actually liked that character a lot better than the I don't know, wannabe model character. It just didn't work for me. Now, as to when he came up to the main roster, they were really pushing him hard. He had Summer Rae by his side. He was beating Dolph Ziggler. He was starting to move up the ranks. Now, according to reports, again, Tyler Breeze had mentioned that he had to leave early for something. While WWE give them their wishes, they felt that he wasn't 100% committed to the roster, so they've been jobbing him. Again, rumor, speculation. That's what I've been reading.
Titus O'Neil would end up picking up the one with the clash of the Titus. Up next, Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler, a rematch from last week on Monday Night Raw. This matchup last week was great, Rick, and this matchup on this week's Monday Night Raw was even better.
Sorry, my mic cut out. Which match are we talking about here?
Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler.
Oh, Owens versus Dolph Ziggler. Yes, absolutely. Ziggler can sell those really big moves, and for him, it's always an uphill battle, and I'm surprised that he got the win with the zigzag. Great match, and I'd like to say, good to see Ziggler at least getting a decent win.
And one of the things that I truly enjoyed about this match is the fact that you really didn't know which way this match was going to go. When you have that kind of back and forth style where either one of the guys could hit just one move and pick up the win, it kind of brings up the climax in the match. It makes you interested in watching the match rather than just seeing someone job out to another person, or as what WWE used to call in the 80s, talent enhancement. When you get two guys like this who are really at the top of their game, and Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler, and you see a great match out of these two, you can just sit back and just purely enjoy it, and that's exactly what I did when I saw that match. Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. Now, when I saw this, they really had to do something to break up Team Bad if they really want Sasha Banks to break out onto her own and not be a part of the team anymore, because let's just face it, Lance, the whole team dichotomy they tried with PCB, the Bellas, and Team Bad really just didn't work.
Well, I wouldn't say it didn't work. It just worked for a period of time, but WWE didn't know when to cut it off.
I have to agree with Lance. It was a great start. It was really showed that they brought more divas in, and they were really being competitive. The problem was it got stale very fast. So The fact that they're breaking up these teams is a smart idea. And I don't know if anybody realized it with Sasha Banks. It seemed like she was kind of pulling the double pun here, page out of her own book.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a sense. Basically what happened, guys, Naomi and Tamina attacked Sasha Banks, which will cause a disqualification, and then Becky Lynch, of all people, would end up making the save, and basically it was a standoff. I even said it on the Facebook page last night, a standoff between NXT divas and main roster divas, and I gotta say, I gotta favor the NXT divas just a little bit more, but then again, that's just my bias talking about that. Now, the New Day, first off, again, I love the promos of the New Day. Rick, I can't say that enough about how great their promos are. Especially when they go out there to shame The Rock. That was funny as hell.
Yeah, and I hate to say, I totally agree with you. Every time I watch them, I laugh my ass off. They have those what the fuck moments. And even, Miss Jackson, who's only been watching wrestling for a year, so she loves them. Every time they come on, they're just hilarious. And for the longest time, I didn't like the gimmick. But, it grows on you a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely does. They basically taken the gimmick and evolved it into something that works for them. And when you have that gimmick that works for them, it'll definitely be over on the crowd. Trust me. I mean, you even heard it from the crowd. New Day rocks from the crowd. And whenever you start hearing that, that's when you know that a gimmick is definitely over. They would end up taking on Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. It was a really good tag match. Ambrose would hit the Dirty Deeds on Big E, but then out would come the IWC's favorite hero, Bork Laser. And after the New Day would end up getting a sneak attack on Dean Ambrose, the mayor of Suplex City would end up F5ing Dean Ambrose, and that's how we would conclude Monday Night Raw. I gotta say, I gotta like Paul Heyman on commentary, especially when he had that really sarcastic type of tone last towards Michael Cole, saying, "Oh, that's a good point, Mr. Cole. Thank you very much," and stuff like that. I mean, that's one of the things that really makes Paul Heyman that extra special. The way that he can actually work on the microphone.
Yeah, he's one of the few guys that WWE will let semi do his own thing. Except for he's got to get in my client Brock Lesnar, yada yada yada. But yeah, I'll tell you one thing I really enjoyed about this actual main event, and I'm surprised Big E does not have broken ribs right now. When he got up that, like maybe a foot above the ropes and went down and landed flat on the ring apron, I thought he probably had a broken ribs or something. Because that was a nasty spot.
Speaking about that, back to the Titus O'Neil and Tyler Breeze match, Rick. I don't know if you had a chance to check it out, but I did bring it to your attention that after the match was over, you could see Titus O'Neil pulling down his knee pad and started noticeably limping. Have there been any reports about any type of an injury that Titus might have suffered?
Right now, from what I read, no. But, for all we know, that could be an ailing injury that's been happening, and now it's just, it might be coming to light. Who knows? He might have just tweaked it. I'm sure eventually there'll be something on the internet about his injury if he indeed does have one. Excuse me.
Overall score on Monday Night Raw this week is going to get a 3 out of 5. I thought it was a really solid show. It wasn't really, awful like it was last week in a sense, but this week it was because for one thing, it didn't have The Rock on it. Apparently, XDC69 in the comments said, "Oh, The Rock segment was the best segment," and I'm like, this is my response to that. The double birds right at you. That's what I think about The Rock and that segment last week. So that's why this week's Monday Night Raw is better, because The Rock wasn't on it. It wasn't that much better, though, because they had Bork Laser. The show overall still was a pretty solid show. I'm going to go to the main event. Well, you know what? Scratch that. Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler, best match of the night. It was a great match. And again, when you have that type of match, when you don't know which way it's going to go, it appeals to the fan. It appeals to the person. It holds their interest in the match. And Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler definitely held everyone's interest, because you never knew, you didn't know who was going to win at that time, and the way they were doing the spots and the way the matchup carried out, you didn't know until the final at the end when Ziggler hit the zigzag on Kevin Owens. So again, that's why I'm going to give that one best match of the night. Worst match of the night, Titus O'Neil and Tyler Breeze, because for the only reason, like, why? That's all I'm going to say is why. That's the only response I have to it.
Time burner.
Well, anyway, Rick, let's go to you and get your overall score and your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week. Also, we got to bring up the fact, Rick, before I let you go, we also got to bring up the fact that there was a comment made by Stephanie McMahon in a backstage segment involving Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns in reference to, can they really call them brother in arms, because some partnerships dissolved. And she would also reference the whole incident between Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. And Marty Jannetty, apparently, Rick, did not take too kindly to that.
Yes, in fact, that's posted over on the HWI chat room. He goes, "Did that dumb bitch just say what I thought she said?" Now, I'm paraphrasing here. And he goes, "Oh, by the way, did you ever tell Hunter that one of those kids might not be his?" Or just something really deranged. If I had my notes, I'm sure I could have said it a lot better. But one thing I did notice is he misspelled the words "your." He did Y-O-U-R-R-E or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? No wonder he got dropped by HBK.
I thought that might have been intentional, in my opinion.
It looked like it was misspelled. It looked like some kind of a typo. But anyway, as far as the show itself, it was alright. It was kind of dry. I looked at the ratings, and they dropped significantly this week over last week. As far as The Rock not being on there, Rock is just a fucking sellout. We can't even call him The Rock. We'll just call him Dwayne. He doesn't even deserve to be called The Rock anymore. As far as last night, best match, I have to agree with you. Ziggler versus Owens, great match. Worst match again, Titus O'Neil. But I do have to give kudos to the Gold Dust and R-Truth segment, the Golden Truth. I couldn't help but laugh, and I think that it's going to be great. It does remind me a lot of the Booker T Gold Dust era, which it is. It looks like another spinoff, but I think it's going to be funny. The sad thing is, when it's all said and done, R-Truth is going to go back to jobber status.
Oh, man. Every time I think about that, I'll just laugh and laugh and laugh. Even brought up little Jimmy and whatnot. And I'm going to say is, man, I really want to put these two together because it's been hilarious. This is like the third week in a row we've seen a third week in a row that we've seen a segment between R-Truth and Goldust, and they just keep getting wackier and wackier, and I really want to see what they do next. Lance, over to you, your overall score and your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw.
Well, overall, I give it, like everybody, about 3. It was an alright show. Best match, it's unanimous. Ziggler versus Kevin Owens. But I'm going to go on with best segment on this one. Also, I got to give it to Dean Ambrose's promo on Brock Lesnar. You believe that bastard is crazy. Because you don't shoot that kind of a promo on Brock unless you a little fucked up.
You know what? While he brought that up, I got to ask you guys, what do you guys think about Dean Ambrose calling himself the Iron Man of the WWE? What do you guys make of that?
Well, to be in the gimmick, it would kind of fit in a sense because, you know, he's crazy, he's out there, you know, he does all kinds of insane stuff, and, you know, that's why he's, quote, the lunatic fringe, and that no matter how many times you beat him down, he always gets back up, and that's quite typical of what one would associate to be an Iron Man, in a sense. So I think that terminology kind of fits to the gimmick and to the character of Dean Ambrose and what he's doing nowadays. Lance, what do you think?
Definitely. Because he gets knocked down, but he does all these crazy-ass spots, but he never gets broken. So, yeah, Iron Man.
Well, guys and gals, that's been our thoughts on Monday Night Raw. Well, what we want to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw. What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw? We definitely want to hear what you guys out there have to say. Be sure to put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Rick, where can fans check you out on HWR?
Well, if they want to listen to any of our podcasts, tributes, shoot videos, and a lot more, you can find us over at youtube.com/HWR show. Right now, as we speak, I am in the process of doing a Dean Ambrose tribute video, so be sure to look for that, again, over at youtube.com/HWR show. HWR show, if I can fucking talk tonight. I must be smoking too much weed. And then you also have, over in our chat room, on the Facebook page, HWR chat room, join in the conversation. We want you to say what you want, how you want to say it. We want those passionate wrestlers.
Wrestling fans.
Anyway, I think I need to take another hit of weed. Excuse me.
While Rick does that, Lance, what can fans expect to see when they come visit your channel over on youtube.com/LanceMozTV? Hopefully no weed.
Well, only on 420. Not kidding. Anyway, I got
every day is 420 for me.
No kidding. Anyway, album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck gourmet videos, musical equipment reviews, some rants. I got a couple of new series coming up, and every Wednesday I go live with Lance Moss TV and friends. I think I might have already said that, but whatever. I'll say it again. Subscribe if you hadn't, and hit me up on Twitter. It's at Lance Moss TV.
WGS-TV is on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You guys can ask me questions. Links will be provided in the description box below. And as always, guys and gals, I'll have a couple of videos in the annotations at the end of this video for you guys to check out as well. So with that being said, for the hardcore host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, Rick Head, and the incomparable Lance Moss from Lance Moss TV, I'm the Wrestle Gamer. Double people in Boudreaux saying we'll see ya at the next Warp Zone! Alright, yeah, so, yeah, you can. Oh, dang. Gotta remember. Oh, I won't accept anyone who doesn't feel as strongly about him as I do. I don't even really know what to do here. Aren't either